What is up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Kane's Takes. I'm Spencer Davis here with Julian Keifitz, Aaron Jaffe, and Dan Baristow. How's everyone doing? We're ready to talk some NCAA March Madness. We got a little Elite Eight recap coming up. We had some big games this past week. Let's start with the first game of the weekend, Villanova and Houston. Anything stick out to you guys? Obviously, Villanova got the win.
Defense was the key in that game. I think Villanova, I was really impressed that they were able to get over this that Houston team. But yeah, they kind of were able to get it done without Gillespie. You know, Jermaine Samuel's been so good. He's kind of been their main guy in this tourney. Yeah, and I think it was a deserved win for Nova.
Definitely agree with that.
I think all you need to do is look at the difference in the leading scorers. Jermaine Samuel's for Villanova against Taymor for Houston. Samuels came out 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting from the field, absolutely electric in that game. And then Taymor put up 15 points, but it was on 6 of 21 shooting. I think Villanova was just the defense was the name of the game in this one, as Aaron said. But Villanova's ability to put the ball in the bucket was the difference in this one.
So the question with Coach K gone or about to be gone, Roy Williams gone a year ago. Jay Wright's got to be considered the new face of kind of NCAA basketball when it comes to coaching. I mean, what he's doing with the team that really on paper isn't that crazy of a team. I mean, Con Gillespie's probably their best player. I mean, Justin Moore's good, but he actually just tore his Achilles in the Houston game. So, and like Julian said, I mean, without Con Gillespie having a good game at all, Villanova beat a Houston Cougars team that beat the Arizona Wildcats by double digits. I mean, that's a good team. That was a 1 seed. And Nova looked like the superior defensive team wire to wire and really kind of had control of the game throughout the entire way. Really impressive win, and I think it speaks a lot to Jay Wright's greatness as a coach.
Definitely. Defense, I mean, as everyone said, definitely the name of the game in this one. I had the under, so I was happy with that. Like Dan, you were saying, Jay Wright and Villanova got to be one of the higher respected programs now and coaches with Coach K leaving. But I got to throw in Bill Self in there too. He's a phenomenal coach. But you're right. I think Jay Wright at Villanova is doing more with less, especially with what's his name that just tore his ACL. I forgot.
Oh, Justin Moore.
Justin Moore, yeah. So that's going to be tough for them. But I mean, they'll be matching up in the next round. Let's talk about the second game that day, Duke, Arkansas, just talking about Coach K. I've been hot on this Arkansas team all year. I thought they were going to cover, and they did not. But I don't know. For me, the biggest thing coming out of this game was Paolo Banchero looked like the number 1 overall draft pick. I don't know. Some people still have Jabari Smith up there, which I think is atrocious after how the Canes completely shut him down. But Banchero looked like a number 1 draft pick to me in this game.
I mean, yeah, he is. Go ahead, Aaron.
The amount he's progressed just in this one season is honestly just remarkable. And I have to admit, I didn't think Duke would make it this far. I really didn't. But they've gone this far. Coach K, there's a little bit of magic in the air, I think, with this team. His last run. And I gotta say, does Coach K retire if he loses to UNC? I mean, I think they already got his replacement, but you can't go out like that.
That's a good point. That'd be very interesting.
We'll talk about it later on when we talk about Duke UNC.
Dan, do you like this game?
Oh yeah. So one of the big things for me when I was watching it is that Paolo Banchero, obviously, I think he's got to be in the discussion for the number 1 overall pick. But this Duke team is same as every year. They have so much talent, little young, little untrained. They went through their bumps during this regular season. But they have so many guys now that are performing at such a high level for them. I mean, Wendell Moore's an upperclassman who's been doing great. AJ Griffin's going to be a top 10 pick in the NBA draft, and he was the leading scorer of the Arkansas Duke game. It's a deeper team than people want to give him credit for, and that's why I think they are making it this run. Coach K is doing one more phenomenal job before he sends out, and these guys are going to be motivated to play UNC. I remember during the ACC tournament when they beat us, who they would rather face in the finals, and it was an emphatic UNC over Virginia Tech. Didn't get to play them, but I'm sure they're still hungry to avenge what happened on Coach K's final home game.
Yeah, Dan, also another name there you didn't mention, Mark Williams, just been a monster on the defensive end.
He's a beast against Arkansas.
Yeah, and I feel like defense is almost like making the difference late in the game here for Duke. And Mark Williams, one of those players that is just standing strong in that paint.
Mm-hmm. And even Jeremy Roach had a real clutch shot against Texas Tech near the end. And Texas Tech is a really good team too that Duke had to go against. I mean, they're maybe arguably the best offensive team in the country. I know some of us were pretty high on them for the tournament.
Definitely.
And Duke looked so disastrous to start that game. I remember it was like 10-2, 12-4, something like that, and they could not. There was so many times starting. They credit to that team again, as young as they are, calm and collected. Rode the distance and found a way to beat that team.
Absolutely. They'll be facing off against UNC, like we said in the Final Four. UNC just ended, I think, everyone's favorite Cinderella run of the past couple years. We got the first 15 seed in the Elite Eight, the St. Peter's Peacocks. I don't know if any of you guys noticed this, but they actually beat Purdue in the Sweet 16 on National Peacock Day, which was pretty cool. March 25th was National Peacock Day. So like Aaron said, for Duke, there's a little magic in the air.
Head coach Shaheen Holloway was actually just signed his 6-year deal with Seton Hall. Congrats to Coach Holloway. What a run for the St. Peter's Peacocks.
Yeah,
and, they just ran into a brick wall in the Tar Heels. So, this is a run that we're going to be talking about for a long time. And, just hats off to the St. Peter's Peacocks.
Yeah, he'll be coaching at Seton Hall, where he actually played when he was in college. And, like you said, they just ran into UNC was, at least through the first two games, I know they were the highest scoring offense in the tournament, put up 90 in both their first two games. And they were up 38-19 at half, I think it was. They just really put it on St. Peter's. They held with them in the second half, but the first half lead was too much. They couldn't get anything back.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, once again, the ACC showing out in this tournament. UNC wasn't that crazy of a team on the regular season. They were the 3 or 2 seed in the ACC tournament. I mean, they weren't really AP ranked top 25 very often this year. Took down a Baylor team. Took down a UCLA team that was a Final Four team a year ago, and then made St. Peter's look like a 15 seed, which hasn't been done yet. I mean, no one can figure that team out defensively, and they absolutely made them look like what people thought they were. And all credit goes to Shaheen Holloway. He got that job. Like, he accepted that job offer like an hour after the game ended. Like, he had that all lined up after the first round.
Yeah,
he was ready to sign that. But I'm happy for him. He'll be a great coach, and it'll be interesting to see what UNC does next.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Elite Eight, it kind of the occasion kind of got a little bit too big for St. Peter's. I think we saw that with our Canes too. I think we kind of went into that first half ended, and we saw wow, we're up 6-7 points, and then kind of Kansas just came out too strong, and we kind of just crumbled and kind of weren't in that game anymore ultimately in the second half.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that game a little bit. That first half was super exciting. I was fortunate enough to get to go to Chicago and be a part of the game there. And like you said, we were so hyped. I mean, I'm sure you guys were all too. Everyone was so hyped after that first half. We were playing well, but I wouldn't say we were playing to our full potential. I mean, like Dan was talking about, UNC was a okay team throughout the year. We beat them by 30 plus, I think, at home. Mm-hmm. Which was obviously fun to watch. But yeah, I think in the second half, Kansas just really exposed that, like, they did what Auburn couldn't do, which was expose how small of a team we were with their athleticism and their size. They just got off the break in the second half and went on like an 8-9-0 run. We lost a group member here. But yeah, it was definitely a great showing by the Canes. No shame in how we played, except for the second half was brutal. We couldn't make a single shot, but
there you go.
I don't know what happened. I got disconnected.
Yeah,
no
I
worries.
think that first half, it was almost perfect up until that final play in that half, that KJ Adams block on McGusty, where he got absolutely locked up and he just walked right to the locker room. I think Kansas, they showed why they're a 1 seed here, and why they're the only 1 seed left in this tournament. They were able to turn it around, and the best teams are able to do that. And I think honestly I thought this Miami team, I thought we were going to win the game. It's just so many unbelievable scorers on the team, but not everyone had a great game. Wardenberg wasn't as good as he's been. Got in foul trouble, so it was a tough one. I think it was a true 10 seed versus a 1 seed in the Elite.
Yeah. So, well, another thing that I was seeing, I mean, the first half, you guys mentioned Auburn earlier. It felt very similar to the Auburn game's first half. I mean, we had a lead, we had control. Every once in a while, they're going on a little bit of runs to keep it close. And like both games, it was a fairly close end to the first half. We had a slight lead. Then the second half was just the complete opposite. I mean, it was 47-15. I think the second half score was.
Yeah,
we were getting locked down defensively. Agjabi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. The guy in Kansas, their guard, absolutely tore us apart. It was a sad way to go out, but a little bit, you kind of just got to tip your hat to the 1 seed. I mean, it's a blue blood for a reason.
Yeah.
You talked about those up earlier. I mean, it's one of the most historic programs ever. It's going to be an uphill battle to beat that team, let alone as a 10 seed.
Yeah, no doubt. Golf showed his coaching ability. Definitely. I don't know if they had a prayer circle or what in the locker room at halftime, but whatever they did, it worked. But quick shout out before we move on to the Canes basketball team. I mean, we were predicted to be 12th by the ACC coaches at the beginning of the year. Finished 4th, beat Duke on the road, beat UNC by 30. Go to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history. I mean, gotta put some respect on the Canes names. Hopefully Isaiah Wong will come back next year. That's a bit of an idealistic thought, but
and
I don't know.
Congrats to that whole team. Congrats to Coach Larinaga. What a run.
Yeah, Coach L, more like Coach W. I mean,
Coach W. Yeah.
First coach to bring 2 double-digit teams, 2 different double-digit schools into the Elite Eight. So good on them.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, like I'm a senior now here at Miami. The last 2 years here, we have not been good at all. I mean, we've been one of the worst teams in the entire conference in the regular season. It was really nice to see us play that all together this year. We do got a lot of older guys. It'll be interesting to see what goes on with Isaiah Wong and who else we're going to be able to have back here. But I mean, I'm excited. It's a step in the right direction for the program overall.
Absolutely. Well, since Kansas beat us, they'll be taking on Villanova in the Final Four. Let's talk some Final Four. It'll be in New Orleans this year. I was hoping to get to go, but no longer the case. But the Kansas fans and the Villanova fans and the UNC fans and the Duke fans will be facing off. Let's talk about the lesser of the rivalries, I suppose. Kansas versus Villanova. I think the line is -4.5 for Kansas. -200 money line. What do you guys think? I like Kansas. I mean, maybe it's because I want Miami to look a little bit better, but I think they're just so athletic. And like you said, Justin Moore tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Villanova is gonna be able to win, especially if Colin Gillespie plays the way he did against Houston.
I don't think there was a point in Kansas' tournament run so far where I felt like they've been in trouble at any point. I mean, I feel like they've controlled kind of every game in and out. There's so many guys that are contributing for them right now. Remy Martin is having an incredible tournament run off the injury. He's just fun to watch. I mean, he tore us up in the one, but he's a bucket. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Villanova, one more guy out. I don't want to rule out Jay Wright, but it's not like he's going against a schmuck as the other coach. With Bill Self. I would lean towards Kansas -4, but Villanova's been beating teams that have been more talented than them all tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would take Nova. On the other hand, I think just the teams they've beaten so far in such convincing fashion, Ohio State, Michigan, Houston. I just think, Kansas. If that second half Kansas team shows up, then who knows what could happen. But they just, to me, they just didn't look that good in the first half, and I think Villanova, with the defense they're playing, they're going to be able to handle them down low. They're going to be able to handle the athleticism of that team, and then I think they're better on the other end to get it done. Jermaine Samuels again playing unbelievable, and I think Colin Gillespie is going to get it going for this big one.
I got to go with Kansas. Bill Self. This Jayhawks team has been unstoppable. They haven't looked like they were in trouble, like Dan said. Yeah, I mean, I think this Jayhawks team, Bill Self, power themselves into the national championship. Got to go with them.
I agree with you there. How about on the other side? I personally, I was a Duke fan before I came to University of Miami. I got my 2010 national championship shirt on. A little sacrilegious with the Miami hat on at the same time, but I'm going to take Duke. I think, like I said, Paolo Banchero looks like a #1 overall pick. I think the factor in this game is if Brady Manick goes off, then UNC can definitely win. He's shown like just absolute senior leadership and veteran mentality, just playing like an animal. And I'll be interested to see the game, though. Duke's definitely got revenge on their mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think this UNC team can get kind of sloppy at times, and this is a game that you can't be sloppy in. I mean, no one really thought they'd make it this far, but down low, you got Armando Bacot, and he doesn't finish all of his chances as much as he should, and I think that's going to be so important for him. See if he can get the better of Mark Williams down low. I don't know. I think Coach K is just going to have that Duke team fired up. But I don't know. I personally love the UNC team, so I think it's going to be a good one. I really don't know who's going to win it though.
UNC wouldn't, right? I mean, they wouldn't end Coach K's career.
You just can't imagine that headline. I feel like
the rivalry will be won forever if UNC wins this game.
Yeah,
Coach K in his final
for real.
Coach K is last over the Final Four. It's over. There's just no coming back for that for Duke. I think UNC's coach Hubert Davis is actually one of my favorite coaches to have.
He's unbelievable.
Better in the tournament. I mean, you're filling the shoes of Roy Williams. It's no small task, but I think he's so vocal. I think the players really get through to him, and it's really been shown kind of the second half of this season. UNC's been kind of elevating themselves so much, but I'm gonna take Duke here. I'm not like Coach. I'm rooting for him at this one. I don't like for the sake of great rivalries. Almost Duke's gonna win this game. If I can't. At the end of the day, it's Duke UNC. It's tough to really predict and know who's going to win. Yeah. This. It's going to be a coin flip, but I'll pick Duke.
I'm going with the Blue Devils. I think Coach K is making at least to the national championship in his final season. I think it's Bill Self against Coach K, and I think it's going to be an excellent national championship between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Duke Blue Devils.
So I'm 1 against 3 for both games.
Yeah, so we all have Kansas Duke except Aaron's got Villanova Duke. Maybe we'll see Villanova UNC in the final.
I mean,
tell us all we're wrong.
Dan, I want to mention again just Hubert Davis, what he's doing. One of my friends mentioned, Roy Williams should come out of retirement for this game. Like, no, he shouldn't. This is Hubert Davis's time. Like, I think he's just doing like such an unbelievable job, like connecting that UNC team. And I don't know, the adversity he faced in his career, I think is being translated to this team. High seed, making a Cinderella run, and it's written in the stars. Go and beat Duke. I personally think they're going to get it done, but I don't know. They're both great teams, kind of out of nowhere. I feel like Duke maybe not as much, but I feel like UNC kind of just came out of nowhere. They just turned it on.
It's funny how unpredictable this tournament was, even compared to most years. And then the Final Four is Duke, UNC, Kansas, Villanova. Of all the madness that happened, it was out of 4 pretty high caliber programs. Yeah, it was so shocking to see some of those teams in it.
Yeah, exactly. I actually found out that UNC and St. Peter's playing in the regional finals. That was the first ever 8 versus 15 seed in the regional final. So the two teams that had beaten the 1 seed and the 2 seed had never faced off in the regional final, which was cool. Another shout out, Cam McGusty from the Canes got named to the Midwest All-Region team for posting 19.3 points per game and 2.5 steals per game.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, 100%. He saved us in that tournament. We were joking in the stands at the Kansas game because every time the crowd gets super loud for the other team, Cam just gets the ball and goes to the elbow and hits a shot that he shouldn't be able to hit every single time. And then the entire crowd just sits down. And the guy standing behind me was like, every time he pulled up, like, Cam, no, like, that's not a good shot. It's like, I know it's not a good shot, but he's going to make it if the crowd's screaming because that's what he does.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one time that like that block to end the first half, like I mentioned, I feel like nasty. that kind of gave Kansas almost weirdly momentum going into the second half. I think if McGusty hit that one shot, could have been a different story. Even that's just that one bucket.
Yeah, I don't know. The boys seemed pretty hyped going into the locker room. Anthony Walker was showing us a lot of love, but tough way to go out. Hopefully we'll see Cam get a maybe late second round draft pick, maybe go into the league or the G League. But yeah, tough way to end the season. What about Final Four? We all got Kansas Duke except for or not Final Four, excuse me, National Championship. I think just real quick, I think Kansas is going to beat Duke in the final. I think Bill Self, he's had 3 appearances. He won the finals first time, lost in the finals second time, lost in the semifinals third time. I think it's going to come full circle. He'll win again. Aaron, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that famous 2016 national championship game, Villanova UNC, I think we're going to get a recreation of that game. When it comes down to it, I think between those two teams, I would back Villanova. But yeah, I think they're 2 great Final Four matchups. I wish our Canes were playing, but I'm excited to watch both games for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking Duke over Kansas. I'm just not going to fade the goat at this point. Going to let them. Just going to enjoy the farewell tour, sit back and watch the ride. It's I think it's the only thing I can do at this point.
I'm going with the Kansas Jayhawks. I think Bill Self pulls it off. I think, Coach K, what a career, but I think he's going to come up just short in his final season. But so much promise on that Duke Blue Devils team, but I got to go with the Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah, you gotta think that as long as Duke beats UNC and makes the final, even if they lose, I mean, it'll be bittersweet, but that they'll have that revenge victory over UNC under the belt, which will at least ease some of the pain. Let's get on to best bets. How'd you guys do last week? I was 2 for 2. I had Villanova over Michigan and Montefiore in the UFC.
I think I was the only one to lose a bet out of us 4 last week. I did have Duke. I keep riding the Coach K wagon and hit getting against Texas Tech. And honestly, I took Purdue spread. They lost in historical fashion. And honestly, I deserved it. I'm happy I lost that. Happy for the Peacocks.
I was 2 for 2 like you, Spencer. I took 2 for 2 on 2 upsets. I boldly took Arkansas over Gonzaga, and even more so St. Peter's over Purdue. Both hit. I feel pretty good.
Big wins.
Yeah,
and I am joining you guys on the 2 for 2 train. I got UNC. I think they were plus 2.5 against UCLA, and then the Canes. I had minus 2.5 against Iowa State.
Very good, Dan. Tough week on the scorecard, but we'll bounce back. How about this week, Julian? Who you got on your picks this week?
I was just talking about it. A minute ago. I think the Kansas Jayhawks are going to do it. I think they're going to go to the national championship, and go to the promised land. So Kansas minus 200 over Villanova. I know that line might scare some bettors, but I think, you know what, if you throw $100 if you throw $200 on Kansas, you will walk away richer. You'll walk away with some more money. So obviously Bill Self, one of the best coaches in to do it right now. Ochai Agbaji and then Remy Martin. This team is absolutely stacked like a well-oiled machine. We unfortunately saw it. Spencer saw it live against our Canes, but you can't bet against Kansas in this one. I think better should be flocking the Jayhawks in this one.
I agree, but I think Aaron might disagree. Aaron, what are you feeling?
Yeah, so I'm disagreeing with all of you guys on these two. So I got UNC +4 against Duke. I do think both these teams are going to win outright and meet in the national championship. UNC, I love this team that they have. Brady Manick playing so well. Just such a fun guy to watch. Baycott down low in the paint. Caleb Love. I think this is just an excellent team. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Duke to win for Coach K. And then Villanova +4.5. Like I said, I also think that they are going to win this one outright. But yeah, Jermaine Samuels, Colin Gillespie. I think they're gonna turn it on in this one. Got it done. 2016 rematch is in the cards.
Yeah, I think UNC might cover, but I don't know about Villanova. I'm taking Kansas straight up -200, just like you, Julian. I think Bill Self's too good of a coach to fall to a team that has one of their top 3 players injured. And then tonight we got the Oilers playing the Los Angeles Kings. I'm taking the Oilers. McDavid and Draisaitl have been on fire recently. Oilers have gotten their place back in the playoffs. I think they're going to keep rolling and beat the Kings tonight.
Yeah, so I actually took some NBA games. We'll switch up. I actually took the Houston Rockets +3 against the Sacramento Kings. It sounds a little weird. The Rockets are actually the worst team in the West record-wise, but they've been getting a lot hotter recently. Jalen Green, after having a tough first half of the season, has really gone under his feet. Now leads all rookies in 30-point games. Christian Wood's been good. And I think the Sacramento Kings have actually been falling apart ever since their Tyrese Halliburton trade. They actually have a worse record after that. And then the Celtics -5. The Celtics are going for the 1 seed right now. They're playing a Miami Heat team that's been kind of falling apart a little bit. They're getting Jaylen Brown and Tatum back tonight after not having them in the Raptors game, which still went to overtime. I think they're a wagon right now that I'm just going to ride the wave with.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Thanks for joining us for Canes Takes episode 7. We will see you next week. And go Canes.